Well water problems usually don't show up as one contained issue. One day it's rust stains in the sink, then it's grit in the shower, then the water smells off, or worse. You start wondering what dangerous contaminants are moving through the house that you can't even see. The tricky part is that the right whole house setup depends on whether you're dealing with sediment, iron, sulfur smell, bacteria protection, scale control, or a mix of all of it. So in this video, I'm walking you through the best whole house water filter for well water lineup, with a close look at what each one actually does, how it fits into daily life, and which kind of home it makes the most sense for. And if you want to compare for yourself, I've put links to the lowest price I've found right now for each top-rated whole house well water filter in the description box below. Starting with Crystal Quest, and if you're narrowing down the best whole house well water filter system shortlist, this is the kind of whole house system that covers a lot of ground at once. It runs your water through 10 stages of filtration, so you're not just knocking down one obvious issue and calling it a day. That broad approach makes sense for well water that needs help with sediment, smell, general cleanup, and overall everyday usability. In practice, it's the sort of setup you notice when the water coming out of the kitchen sink, shower, and laundry line feels more consistent from one part of the house to the next. The front and back end of the system are easy to understand, and that matters because those are the stages you feel first. Up front, a 20-inch 5-micron sediment cartridge pulls out sediment, silt, sand, and dirt, so you're not grinding gritty well water through the rest of the house. At the other end, a 20-inch 5-micron solid carbon cartridge polishes out VOCs and the remaining insecticides, pesticides, and industrial solvents, so the water tastes cleaner, smells more settled, and comes out much healthier for drinking. That translates to fewer little reminders of raw well water every time you fill a pot or step into the shower. The middle of the system is where Crystal Quest stacks its media blend for maximum well water cleanup. You're working with standard and catalytic coconut shell GAC, Eagle Redox alloys, ion exchange resin, ceramic balls, tourmaline balls, and quartz, so the system is tackling chlorine, chloramine, heavy metals, iron oxides, hardness, and other chemical byproducts in one pass. Because that media stack is doing different jobs at different points, the water doesn't just get filtered once and move on. Unlike with cheaper systems, you end up with a more complete whole house cleanup that fits homes dealing with several overlapping well water annoyances at the same time. Crystal Quest gives you 2 size lanes, 1 million gallons with 9 to 11 gallons per minute service flow for 1 to 3 bathrooms, or 1,500,000 gallons with 10 to 13 gallons per minute for 2 to 4 bathrooms. The automatic backwash keeps the media bed working, so ownership feels more like staying on top of routine cartridge changes than constantly fiddling with the tank. You can order it as a standalone filter, or step up to a salt-free conditioner or traditional softener version, which is useful when you're comparing the best well water whole house filter setups that need both filtration and scale control. That flexibility is what makes this Crystal Quest filter such a good option for multiple different water problems. By the way, if you're looking at a whole house setup like this, are you mainly trying to fix sediment and odor, or scale and staining? Drop a comment below so other people can compare notes too. It will really help people watching the video. Moving to the SoftPro IronMaster AIO, and if you're comparing the best whole house water filtration system for well water setups, this one is aimed right at the classic well water problems people actually complain about. It's built to remove up to 30 parts per million of iron, up to 7 parts per million of manganese, and sulfur odors caused by hydrogen sulfide, so you're tackling rust stains, dark staining, metallic taste, and that rotten egg smell in one shot. For a house where sinks, tubs, toilets, and laundry keep telling you the well water is winning, that kind of targeted treatment matters fast. You notice it in cleaner fixtures, less smell at the tap, and water that feels less like something you have to work around every day. What stands out here is the air injection oxidation setup. Instead of relying on chemicals, salt, or additives, it uses air as the oxidizer, which turns dissolved iron, manganese, and hydrogen sulfide into particles the filter can trap before they get deeper into your plumbing. That means the cleanup happens at the source rather than after the staining and odor have already spread through the house. In day-to-day use, that makes the system feel direct and low fuss. The sizing is practical too, because this is sold in 1, 1.5, and 2 cubic foot versions with minimum flow requirements of 5, 7, and 10 gallons per minute. Pair that with the 1-inch high-efficiency high-flow valve, and you get a setup that's easier to match to your well pump and the amount of water your home uses at once. So when more than one fixture is running, the system easily keeps treatment moving without making the house feel choked down. It installs at the main point of entry, which keeps the fix whole house instead of limited to one faucet. SoftPro keeps ownership straightforward with automatic backwashing, so the media bed cleans itself and replenishes oxygen without you babysitting it. The control valve adds a 4-line easy-read LCD, automatic settings, and a self-charging capacitor that keeps date and time for at least 48 hours, so the routine stays simple even after a power outage. On top of that, the filtration tank and core components are backed by a lifetime warranty, which adds a lot of confidence for a system meant to live on hard-working well water. For homes where iron is the main battle, this one feels purpose-built from start to finish. Next up, and if you're comparing the best whole house well water filter system contenders, the US Water System's Matrixx InFusion is the pick that leans hardest into iron and sulfur cleanup with an oxidizing feed system. It injects hydrogen peroxide and then uses catalytic carbon filtration media, so iron, manganese, and hydrogen sulfide get oxidized and filtered out before that notorious smell and staining take over the house. The rated treatment range goes up to 20 parts per million iron, 30 parts per million hydrogen sulfide, and 1 part per million manganese, which is the kind of muscle you want when the water has a real rotten egg problem or leaves ugly staining behind. In practice, this is the sort of setup that makes showers, sinks, and laundry feel a lot less like a reminder that you're on untreated well water. The other reason this one stands out is how much it does around that core treatment process. It works effectively from pH 6 to 9, also works with iron and sulfur-reducing bacteria, and helps reduce silt, sand, sediment, and cloudiness. So you're not only chasing smell, you're solving all the most troublesome well water problems with one system. Because the peroxide is doing the oxidation and the catalytic carbon is doing the cleanup. The water gets treated in a way that feels aggressive on the problem, but still practical for everyday home use. That matters when your well water issues show up in more than one form at the same time, which is exactly why people often select the Matrixx InFusion as the best well water whole house filtration system. US Water offers this filter in 10, 15, and 20 gallons per minute versions sized for roughly 1 to 2, 2 to 3.5, and 4 to 6 bathrooms, so you can match it to the house instead of guessing. The package includes a 15-gallon peroxide tank, the precision injection panel, the infusion filter, and 10 gallons of H2O2. So you're getting the feed tank, injection panel, filter, and startup oxidizer together. So when your home has multiple bathrooms or heavier water use, there's a clearer path to choosing the size that keeps up. That makes this top-rated whole house well water filter feel more like a serious whole house treatment package than a basic odor filter. The smart valve side is unusually polished for a well water system. You get Bluetooth 5, connection to the Legacy View app, a meter that tracks gallons used and monitors flow rates, and fully programmable regeneration and backwash settings, so the system gives you more control without turning into a science project. Automated backwashing typically happens about every 2 days, and the 12-volt operation uses less than $2 of electricity per year and also means no electrical shocks, making it extremely safe to use. If sulfur odor is the thing you want gone first, this is one of the most serious whole house options in the lineup. Out of curiosity, if sulfur smell or staining is what pushed you to start shopping, what are you noticing most from your well water right now? Tell me in the comments, because I'm genuinely curious what people are dealing with. Then there's the Kindwater WS7000 UV, and for anyone shopping for the best whole house filter for well water that's made in the USA, this premium filter softener combo is really an all-in-one well water package. It starts with a 100-micron spin-down filter that catches larger sediment, sand, and dirt, And the clear housing and flushing mechanism make cleanup simple, so the first stage doesn't turn into a messy chore. After that, a 20-inch 5-micron pleated sediment filter traps up to 95% of particulates and keeps strong flow, so more of the grit gets stopped before it can wear down the rest of the system. That front-end protection is a big deal on well water because it keeps the later stages focused on the finer stuff instead of constantly fighting big debris. From there, Kind stacks the parts most well owners actually need. The AIO iron filter eliminates iron, manganese, and sulfur odor, with metered control that regenerates only when needed. So you're treating red staining, black staining, and rotten egg smell without adding extra routine. Right behind that, the carbon tank, which is certified to NSF and ANSI standards 42 and 61 for drinking water safety, reliably removes chlorine, chloramine, VOCs, pesticides, herbicides, and more. And its media is rated for 600,000 gallons or 5 years, so you get long-run whole house cleanup rather than a quick, short-lived fix. The result is water that feels much cleaner at the tap and something that you actually look forward to showering with, cooking with, and drinking. The scale control side is handled by Kind's formidable salt-free eSoft stage, which uses template-assisted crystallization to convert 88% or more of scale-causing minerals into tiny crystals that won't stick to plumbing and appliances. That means you keep the minerals in the water, skip heavy salt bags, and avoid wastewater or brine discharge, so ownership stays a lot lighter than a traditional salt setup. In normal use, that shows up as significantly less scale buildup around fixtures and way less crusty wear inside the things you use every day. It's a smart fit when you want hard water protection without adding a salt routine to your week. The last stage is the UV system, and that's a big reason this setup fits well water so perfectly. Unlike cheaper systems, it's NSF and ANSI 55 certified, built to sterilize 99.9% of bacteria and viruses, and it gives lamp and sleeve replacement alerts every 12 months, so you get the kind of pathogen protection people want from a serious whole house well water system. Kind rates the system for homes up to 5+ full bathrooms, and the system has a max flow up to 12 gallons per minute, which means it's built for a full home rather than a one-bathroom stopgap. If you're narrowing down the best whole house water filter for well water shortlist, and you want one package that covers sediment, iron, chemical reduction, scale control, and UV disinfection together, this is the one that I most recommend. Next up on my best whole house well water filtration system list is the popular Aquasana Rhino well water with UV, which takes a broad, cleaner, all-around approach to well water. The system is designed specifically for homes on private wells and pairs its main filtration tank with a carbon media upgrade, a 20-inch pre-filter, a post-filter, and UV. So treatment starts before the water branches out through the house. It's rated for 500,000 gallons or up to 5 years, which gives you a long runway before the main tank needs replacing. In everyday life, that translates to thoroughly filtered water showing up at the shower, kitchen sink, laundry line, and everywhere else without you having to think about point-of-use gadgets. Aquasana pairs its main tank with activated carbon and copper zinc media, which helps extend system life and inhibits bacteria and algae growth inside the unit. It also adds UV filtration that's independently tested to NSF and ANSI standard 55 to sterilize 99.99% of viruses and bacteria like E. coli, along with 99% of chlorine-resistant cysts, so you get an extra layer of protection against the contaminants you can't see in your well water. The result is a whole house setup that feels much more reassuring day to day, especially when you want broader well water treatment without relying on chemical disinfection. Flow and upkeep are both pretty approachable. Aquasana gives this setup a 14.7 gallons per minute peak flow rate and a 7 gallons per minute rated flow. And the Rhino platform is designed with no drain lines or back flushing, so the system is easier to live with than some heavier treatment whole house rigs. The included copper zinc media is bacteriostatic, which helps prevent bacteria and algae growth inside the system and helps extend service life. That all adds up to a whole house filter that feels steady and low drama once it's in place. The replacement routine is straightforward too. The standard 20-inch pre-filter is replaced every 2 months, the low-maintenance pre-filter every 6 months, the 10-inch post-filter every 6 months, and the pre/post housings every 5 years. The UV lamp is rated for 12 months, so you have a clear yearly checkpoint for the disinfection side as well. Add in the 5-year warranty and 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and this filter system is perfect for families who want broad well water coverage with UV built in. Before I forget, if you've already dealt with well water issues at home, I'd love it if you'd leave a quick comment and share what you've tried so far so other people reading through can learn from it. All right, those are the options. If your biggest headache is iron staining and sulfur smell, the SoftPro Iron Master and the Matrixx InFusion are the most problem-focused picks. If you want one package that covers sediment, iron, carbon filtration, scale control, and UV together, the Kind Water system is the easiest one to picture as a full home solution. If you want broad well water filtration with a simpler ownership feel, Aquasana is a very strong fit. And if you like flexible sizing and build-out options, Crystal Quest gives you a lot to work with. The best whole house well water filter system is really the one that matches what your water is doing in your home, not just the one with the longest feature list. And if you want to compare the best whole house well water filters for yourself, I've put links in the description box to the lowest price I've found right now for each one.